some people have been taking advantage of the channel's eyewitness portal, and they've sent in some pictures, and we'd like to show them to you. Now, let's start with this first one from Agbodoegbe here in Lagos, showing a building on fire. Our eyewitness reporter says it was a helpless situation as neighbors watched the fire destroy their property. And from Awolowo Road, Ikoyi, still here in Lagos, comes this picture showing gallons of fuel to be stored due to the ongoing fuel scarcity in the country. Residents are warned to avoid doing this to prevent a fire disaster. And finally is this photo of a bad road leading to Shagamu, Ogun State. Our eyewitness reporter says this is a major federal road from Ikorodu to Shagamu, which has been abandoned by contractors. He's pleading with the relevant authorities to fix the road to make it easier on citizens and residents. Thanks a lot for sending in your pictures, and do continue to take advantage of the channel's eyewitness portal today. Let's move on now. The controversy surrounding the incident that claimed several lives in some villages of Wase local government area of Plateau State seems to be unending. Now, that's because the indigents have taken their protest to the State House of Assembly, asking the lawmakers to look into the matter.
Tarok people from Wase local government area assemble at the State House of Assembly in Jos, Plateau State capital. They are on a solidarity protest to drive home their grievances over the killing of their kinsmen by unidentified gunmen. They hope the House of Assembly would intervene and ensure those responsible are brought to book.
A thorough investigation should be carried out to look into this issue. This investigation should not start and end in Plateau State. We do not know the territories where these people are coming from. We do not know the strength of what they have to come into that land. We do not know how much of our land they know for them to exercise the level of damage that they have done on our land.
Our people who came from home for solidarity here has told the lawmakers that it was soldiers, the task force here based in Jos, that went there on a civil land. They gave them food, they gave them drinks, and they came back to kill them.
But the lawmakers want the people not to see the issue as political, but something that should be dealt with decisively.
We are pleading with the people of Plateau State that this issue must not be seen as a political issue. This issue must be seen as an issue that has disturbed the people of Plateau State, and we keep every difference behind, support the House of Assembly to immediately look at it, their plenary sessions, and come up with a resolution in the shortest possible time.
Pointing accusing fingers to the military, the Special Task Force, JTF, refutes the accusation that the military has a hand in the attacks.
The STF did not attack any community, did not attack any people.
Meanwhile, the senator representing Plateau North, Gyang Pwajok, sees the situation in a different light.
This is happening after the military has demonstrated that it can root out the Boko Haram insurgents in most parts of the northeast. The implication is that perhaps they have pushed these people to relocate to new areas of attack, and to that extent creating fresh violence that is often mispresented in the form of cattle rustling, farmer conflicts and all that.
As the people of Kadako and other affected villages continue to count their losses, they want the relevant authorities to attend to the needs of the displaced persons, especially now that the rains have come, while thorough investigations into the matter is initiated.
The Senior Staff Association and other health workers of the Federal Teaching Hospital at Ekiti have staged a peaceful protest following the abduction of one of their colleagues. Mrs. Margaret Aladenika, a 44-year-old female nurse, was abducted on May the 3rd, 2015. During the protest, the chairman of the Senior Staff Association of the Federal Teaching Hospital said they've declared an indefinite strike until their colleague returns.
Gradually, members of the Senior Staff Association, as well as other health workers at the Federal Teaching Hospital, Ekiti, converged right in front of the main gate of the teaching hospital. At about 9 a.m., they took to the streets with placards bearing different inscriptions, singing and praying.
We use Margaret Aladenika as a point of contact for every one of them that are being held as hostages wherever they are.
As it is now, the nurses and in fact the entire staff of Federal Teaching Hospital, we are worried that for the past 9 days we don't know her whereabouts, we don't know the condition that she is now, and we have been in a very terrible state of mind. And in this state of mind, we can no longer walk.
Save our life, bring our back.
From the main gate to the palace to the police station, the protesting health workers call on all concerned authorities to make sure that Nurse Margaret Aladenika is released from her abductors.
We are scared because we don't know who is next. As you interview me now, you are not sure of getting back to your house because serial abductions and killings have happened then after. It is one day a killing, the other day an abduction. We are no longer safe. We cannot guarantee to provide services under this kind of situation. So as I talk to you, I have received directives from the national headquarters to down tools till Aladenika comes back safe, healthy and alive.
Your protest is normal because it happened to somebody. Who knows the next person? See? So, but I will only appeal to you. Let your protest be peaceful.
However, the governor of the state, Mr. Ayodele Fayose, who later visited the Federal Teaching Hospital, gave the assurance that the state government will do everything possible to ensure the return of the abducted nurse.
It's unfortunate that you are getting this kind of having this kind of experience. I want to assure you that my government will do everything to protect life and property.
For the protesting health workers, this assurance by the governor can only mean much to them if Nurse Margaret Aladenika, who is said to have been abducted somewhere around Igbere area in Ekiti for almost 2 weeks, comes back home in good health.
The Ogun State Governor, Ibikunle Amosun, has appealed to the federal government to resuscitate the abandoned international airport project initiated 10 years ago. The governor was speaking at the site of a proposed federal airport located in Iwekuru local government area of the state. He complained that the project is long overdue, hinting that if completed, it will do a lot for the development of the state.
The airport was moved from that original location to this place. And if this place has been on since 2005, then you can ask the necessary question. Those that conceptualize it, this was to be a functional airport. Not, when I say functional, both to serve both commercial purposes and maybe the cargo as well, a conventional airport. We are doing that. We are going to encourage the federal government not to abandon this project because we have to go and get the budget, the federal government budget over the years. They've been voting money. They've even been releasing money for this. So where are the funds? Once federal governments have shown intention like this, states can collaborate with them so that we ensure that the project is done.
First Bank. You first.
Hello and welcome to Business News. The Naira today followed the rally in crude oil prices as the United States dollar continued to weaken. The Naira recorded an 18-point advance in the US dollar with a mid-quote of 197.79 at the interbank foreign exchange market, according to data from United Capital. Brent crude prices soared 341 points today to $66.74 a barrel on the news that the American oil giant Chevron, operating along the Saudi-Kuwaiti border, has decided to shut down the Wafra oil fields for maintenance, shaving off a potential 250,000 barrels a day from global oil supply. In the meantime, the central bank's interest rate setting policy meeting holding early next week is keenly watched by traders and analysts as to whether the regulator will relax some of the existing rules on currency. And the oil price decline and election spending contributed to the increase in Nigeria's debt profile in first quarter of the new year. According to analyst reports released today by FBN Capital, Nigeria's domestic debts are still manageable at 8.51 trillion naira. Latest records from the Debt Management Office shows Nigeria's total debt stock has risen 7% from December 2014, standing at 12.062 trillion naira. Nigeria's debt increase in naira terms in the first quarter was 610 billion naira, of which FGN bonds accounted for 580 billion. The new FBN Capital report states that the incoming administration of General Muhammadu Buhari must develop new borrowing strategies. The ongoing fuel scarcity looks set to put more pressure on the economy as marketers claim the federal government has refused to grant requests for sovereign debt notes. Sovereign debt notes authorize marketers to claim subsidy payments from creditor banks if delayed by the government for more than the stipulated 45 days. The federal government had in March said the Debt Management Office issued sovereign debt notes worth 100 billion naira to settle part of the subsidy arrears owed the petrol marketers. Minister of Finance Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, after a meeting with marketers last Monday, said the issues that led to the scarcity had been resolved but did not disclose the outstanding subsidy debt. Industry watchers say due to skepticism on the government's position on subsidy payments, banks are reluctant to offer letters of credit to finance importation of refined petroleum products as they classify subsidy as a huge political risk. And the Nigerian equities and securities market continues to welcome innovations. The latest is the clamor by industry experts for investors to embrace online trading as a way of preventing incidences that predated and followed the 2008 market crash. Ekiti, CEO Africa Invest says online trading will bring more transparency and control into Nigeria's equity space.
If you think about the challenges the market faced in 2008, part of the biggest issues investors faced was that they couldn't understand what was going on. Maybe you had made an investment, you took a position, 1 million shares of a particular stock, and they told you it has gone down. Okay, that's fine. So what if you came in at 10 naira and it went down to 5 naira? The challenge many investors faced post 2008 was they look at the account and there's only 500,000 units or sometimes 200,000 units, but they knew they bought 1 million units. So what online trading is trying to do is take away all that third-party intervention and give you direct real-time access to your brokerage account. So once you've bought any share, any stock, you know exactly the number of units. If you get dividends, you know the additional dividends you've gotten. Your cash dividends goes to your bank account, your stock dividends comes back to your brokerage account, and you see that credited. So you have complete visibility and transparency about what's going on.
The Nigerian equities market extends losing streak into the 7th day. Key benchmark index shed 0.66%. Our correspondent Bolaji Akinwale has the figures.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Nigeria's equities market continued its bearish run into its 7th session, shedding 0.66%. The gainers who recorded marginal profits were led by corn oil with 1 naira 90 kobo, followed by GlaxoSmithKline and Unilever with a gain of 1 naira each. Leading the decliners chart is Total, which plunged 8 naira 10 kobo. Forte Oil lost 4 naira 50 kobo, and Nigeria Breweries lost 3 naira 37 kobo. On the volume chart, UBA tops with 317.5 million shares. Sterling Bank is next with 36.7 million shares, while Unity Bank sold 28.3 million shares. In total, more than 525 million shares valued at 3.2 billion naira were traded in 4,364 deals. And that's it for the stock market reports. I am Bolaji Akinwale.
Moving over to the crude oil markets, prices eased on Tuesday as the market remained oversupplied and the dollar gained on fears that Greece would not be able to repay its debts. The Greek Finance Ministry says the government paid about 750 million euros to the International Monetary Fund late on Monday, a day before it was due. However, it was not enough to stop worries over future payments. The most recent price falls came after Brent climbed 40% from its January lows, with many analysts saying upwards momentum looks to have come to an end as production around the world continues to outpace demand. Investors will also look to the International Energy Agency's monthly report on Wednesday to assess if oil demand has improved amid lower prices. Well, that's it on Business News. I'm Imana Amawe. Ijoma will be back with the rest of the news at 10.
First Bank. You first.
Still ahead on the news at 10, 9 primary schools confirm participation for the 2015 Channels National Kids Cup. That's on sports. To join us again.